Welcome back to my channel. Have you installed Arch Linux on your system and now you're wondering what to do next? How should you perform the post-installation configuration? So, today I've brought some important steps for you that you should perform after installing Arch Linux. These steps will help you properly prepare your system and avoid many common problems while using Arch Linux in the future. So, without wasting any time, let's move towards the video. Welcome to my channel. Technicio. As you can see, Arch Linux is installed on my system. So the first thing I'm going to do is open the terminal. The first and most important thing that we should do after installing Arch Linux is update the system. Arch Linux is a rolling release distribution, which means that instead of releasing a completely new version every few years, it continuously receives updates for the existing installation. So, to make sure that our system has the latest available packages and updates, I'm going to run the system update command. If you encounter an error or the update process is interrupted, you can run the same command again. However, if the command completes successfully, there is no need to repeatedly run it. Once the system is completely updated, we can move on to the next step. The second thing I want to enable is the Multilib repository. Multilib is an important repository for users who need 32-bit libraries and applications on a 64-bit Arch Linux installation. For example, it can be required for certain Steam and gaming components. To enable Multilib, I'm going to open the Pacman configuration file. After opening the configuration file, I'll find the Multilib section and uncomment both the Multilib line and its corresponding include line. After that, I'll save the file. To save the file in Nano, I'll press Ctrl+O and then press Enter. After that, I'll exit Nano by pressing Ctrl+X. Now that Multilib is enabled, I'm going to run the system update command once again. And as you can see, Multilib is now included in the repositories being synchronized. This means that the 32-bit packages provided through the Multilib repository can now be installed on our system whenever they are required. So, now let's move towards the third step. A minimal Arch Linux installation does not come with every utility that we may need for everyday use. Therefore, I'm going to install a small collection of essential tools such as Git, curl, and other basic utilities. These tools can be useful for managing repositories, downloading files, building packages, and performing different tasks from the terminal. So, after running the installation command, the terminal will automatically download and install the required packages on my system. And now, if I run the fastfetch command, you can see that a very nice visual summary of my system information appears on the screen. It shows important information such as the operating system, kernel, desktop environment, CPU, GPU, memory, and other system details. So, now let's move towards the next step. The next thing I'm going to install is Paru. Paru is an AUR helper, and it can make installing packages from the Arch user repository much easier. Normally, when installing an AUR package manually, we may have to download the package build files, inspect them, build the package, and then install the resulting package. Paru simplifies this process by allowing us to search for and install AUR packages using a command similar to the normal Pacman workflow. For example, instead of manually downloading and building every AUR package, we can simply give Paru an installation command, and it can automatically download the required build files, build the package, and install it. This saves us from performing several manual steps every time we want to install an AUR package. The installation of Paru can take a little bit of time, so I'm going to skip this part of the video for you. Once the installation is complete, I'll remove the Paru installation files that I no longer need. And now, if I run the Paru version command, you can see that Paru has been successfully installed on my Arch Linux system. The next thing I'm going to install is Flatpak. Arch Linux already provides packages through its official repositories and the AUR, but Flatpak gives us another convenient way to install desktop applications. Flatpak works together with Flathub, which is one of the largest sources of Flatpak applications. One of the advantages of Flatpak is that applications are distributed in a relatively isolated environment, and they can often be installed independently of the specific versions of system libraries provided by the distribution. So, I'm going to install Flatpak on my system. After installing Flatpak, I'm going to add the Flathub repository. Once Flathub has been added, we can search for and install many popular desktop applications directly through Flatpak. So, now our system also has Flatpak support. The next step is related to graphics. This step is important because the correct graphics stack is required for a smooth desktop experience, hardware acceleration, video playback, and gaming. The packages you need depend on whether your system has Intel, AMD, or NVIDIA graphics. So, first I'm going to check which graphics hardware is installed on my system. I'm going to use the following command to identify the graphics controller. And as you can see, my system is using an Intel graphics controller. This means that I need the appropriate Intel graphics support. On Arch Linux, the graphics stack is generally provided through components such as the Mesa drivers and the appropriate Vulkan packages, depending on your hardware and the applications you want to use. In my case, the required graphics support is already available on my Arch Linux installation, so I don't need to install unnecessary drivers manually. If you're using AMD or NVIDIA graphics, your required packages and configuration can be different, so you should install the appropriate drivers and Vulkan support for your particular GPU. Now let's prepare our Arch Linux installation for gaming. Steam is available directly through the official Arch Linux repositories and with Proton. Many Windows games can also run on Linux. I'm also going to install GameMode. GameMode is a system service and library developed by Feral Interactive that allows games to request certain performance optimizations while they are running. This can help improve gaming performance in some situations by temporarily applying appropriate system settings while the game is running. So, I'm going to install Steam and GameMode on my system. As I mentioned earlier, if you encounter an error during installation, first check the error message and then try running the appropriate command again after fixing the issue. So, now our Steam installation is complete. And if I run the GameMode installation command, you can see that GameMode has also been successfully installed on my Arch Linux system. This means that our basic Arch Linux gaming setup is now ready. However, before we start heavily modifying our Arch Linux installation, I strongly recommend having a recovery strategy. This is especially important because Arch Linux gives us a lot of control over the system, and some configuration changes can potentially cause problems if they are done incorrectly. If you're using the Btrfs file system, you can use a tool such as Snapper to create and manage file system snapshots. Snapshots can be extremely useful because they allow you to keep a previous state of the file system and potentially roll back changes when you have an appropriate recovery setup. So first I'm going to check which file system my system is using. And as you can see, my system is using the Btrfs file system. Because I'm using Btrfs, I can use Snapper to manage file system snapshots. However, if you're using a different file system such as ext4, you cannot simply use Snapper in the same way for file system snapshots. In that case, you should use a backup or recovery solution appropriate for your file system and system configuration. So, after confirming that my system is using Btrfs, I'm going to install Snapper and the required snapshot-related packages. After installing Snapper, I'll configure it for my root file system. Once the configuration is complete, I can create a snapshot of my current system state. Now, you can see that a snapshot of my file system has been created. Keep in mind that a snapshot is not the same thing as a complete backup. It is also important to make sure that your snapshot setup is properly integrated with your boot and recovery environment if you want to roll back the system after a serious problem. But with a properly configured Btrfs snapshot setup, we have an additional recovery option before making major system changes. Now let's perform some final checks on our Arch Linux installation. We're going to check important information such as the kernel, desktop environment, display protocol, memory, storage, GPU, and failed system services. First, I'm going to check the kernel. As you can see, I'm using the original Arch Linux kernel, which is the standard Linux kernel package. Next, I'm going to check the desktop environment. This allows us to confirm which desktop environment is currently running on our system. And as you can see, I'm using the GNOME desktop environment. Now I'm going to check the session type. As you can see, my current session is running under Wayland. After that, I'm going to check the memory usage. And now you can see the total amount of RAM installed in my system, how much memory is currently being used, and how much memory is available. In my case, the system has 8 GB of RAM, and only a portion of it is currently being used by the operating system and running applications. Next, I'm going to check the storage. This allows us to see information about our disks, partitions, and the amount of available and used storage. And as you can see, the storage information is displayed here. Finally, I'm going to check the failed system services. This is a very useful check after completing a fresh installation because it allows us to identify whether any system services have failed to start properly. So, I'm going to run the command that lists failed system units. And as you can see, there is a service showing as failed on my system. In my case, the failed service is related to the network service. At this point, we shouldn't simply ignore a failed service. We should investigate what caused it and make sure that it isn't affecting our system. If the service is related to something we don't use, it may not necessarily be a serious problem. But if it is an important service, we should troubleshoot it before considering our installation completely finished. Finally, before rebooting the system, I'm going to run the system update command one more time. And as you can see, there are some updates available again. I'll install these updates so that our system is completely up to date before the final reboot. Once the updates have been installed, all of our major post-installation steps are complete. Now I'm simply going to reboot the system. And after rebooting, our Arch Linux installation is properly configured with the essential tools and applications that we installed throughout this video. And now, if I open the Applications menu, you can see that Steam is also installed on my Arch Linux system. So, I can simply launch Steam from here and start setting up my games. And that's it. These are some of the important steps that I recommend performing after installing Arch Linux. By updating the system, enabling Multilib when needed, installing essential utilities, setting up an AUR helper, enabling Flatpak, checking the graphics stack, preparing the system for gaming, creating a recovery strategy, and verifying our system configuration, we can start using our fresh Arch Linux installation with a much better foundation. I hope this guide helped you properly configure your Arch Linux installation after a fresh install. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like the video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Technicio, and hit the bell icon so you'll never miss an update from our channel. Together, let's end tech tantrums. Thank you.